What's up everybody? Welcome to the Stocks channel. My name is Cory and this is going to be your daily stock market technical analysis update. Today we saw the Nasdaq100 close at brand new all-time highs and we see tech leading the way in this Santa Claus rally. What should you expect for the remainder of the Santa Claus rally and going into next year? First up, we'll take a look at the S&P500 SPY ETF. So let's crack open this chart and see what's going on in the stock market today. Alright, so on the SPY ETF, we see the price action going up 0.86% today, and we almost got a brand new closing all-time high. However, we did get some selling into the close. So we're very close to a new all-time high, and we did get this gap up in the morning that never actually closed. So we need to watch this gap, and that gap will close at a price target of $369. Now, I've been saying this for a while now, but my price target on SPY remains up here at $377. And I still think it's likely that we're going to get to that price target to end the year. So we've got a few days left and we're a little over 1% away from hitting that price target. So I do think in this Santa Claus rally, we're going to continue to see this low volume melt up. You can see how incredibly low the volume has been lately, and that is likely going to allow the price to just melt up slowly but surely for the remainder of the week. Now we do have to watch this gap below, but there's no guarantee that that gap has to get filled in any short amount of time. We could continue to head higher to our price target and then eventually close that gap on the way down during the next correction. So just a reminder that the stock market does not go up forever. Eventually we will see a correction, and as we continue to get closer to my price targets, you should consider taking some profits off the table and have some cash ready for the next sell-off. We will be talking about possible corrections in the future, but right now just know you need to be disciplined and you need to reduce how much leverage you have on your account as we reach these higher and higher price targets. You also want to take some profits and have some cash ready to buy the dip for the next sell-off. So possible support on the SPY ETF is going to be that 5 EMA and that gap close at $369. We still see we have bullish price action over the 5 EMA, and we still have this really strong bullish trend that has been going on for a while now. We still have the positive sloping 20 simple moving average and a positive sloping 50 EMA. So there's really no cracks in the armor for the bulls just yet, and the price action and the trend remain bullish. Therefore, we remain bullish on our way to our price target of $377. Next up is the Nasdaq100 QQQ ETF, and we saw the tech sector do really well today with the FANG stocks leading the way for the Nasdaq to head higher. We did get a little bit of a sell-off after the gap up, and we closed that gap and we found support right at that 5 EMA, and we closed near the high of the day. You can see that the Nasdaq100 has now reached my price target at this 312 level, which means if we can break and close above 312, we're likely going to head to my next price target up here at $321. Now again, you can see we had really low volume and we had a really nice melt up day, which is likely going to continue during the Santa Claus rally. The Santa Claus rally goes into about the first couple of days of January, and then we could finally start to see some selling. So like I said on the S&P 500, you want to start taking some profits as we hit these price targets. Don't be too greedy and don't refuse to lock in any profits when you get to these higher price targets. This is the best time to start locking in some of those profits and get ready to buy the next dip. On the Nasdaq100 QQQ ETF, watch for support at the 5 EMA and of course our previous high at $308. We still have the benefit of extremely bullish price action and extremely bullish trending on the Nasdaq100, and you can see all of these moving averages are still strongly trending to the bull side. So with the price action and the trend looking very bullish, it's very possible we're going to start closing above my price target at 312 and start heading to the next price target at $321. Next up is the Dow Jones DIA ETF, and we did get a brand new closing all-time high on the Dow Jones. So 2 out of the 3 indices closed at brand new all-time highs today, and the S&P 500 is right behind. So just like I said on the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq100, we're still seeing bullish price action and bullish trending on the Dow Jones as well. So all 3 indices are looking bullish, which means we're likely to continue to head higher to new all-time highs. Next up is the ARKK ETF, and we finally see ARKK getting some selling, which was to be expected after we hit my price target of $133. It did look like we were going to start heading towards 140, but you can see that after 2 days closing above that price target, we started to see a significant amount of selling. On the ARK ETFs, I am not a buyer until we see a significant correction. So I don't think there's a lot of upside potential for the potential downside risk in the ARK ETFs, therefore I'm not a buyer. But right now, if we're strictly looking at the price action and strictly looking at the trends, it's still bullish. The price action did close below the 5 EMA today, but we still have all of these moving averages stacked to the bull side. However, on the ARKK ETF, I would really like to see the price action come down and close this gap at 117 before I would be a buyer. Now, it's still fully possible we find support and start bouncing back up towards 140, but like I said, the risk-reward ratio is not worth it to me. So I'm going to continue to stand on the sidelines for the ARK ETFs, but it is still looking bullish as far as the price action and the trend go. So if you're trading these ETFs, just manage your risk by controlling tight stop losses and make sure you don't get caught holding the bag, buying in at the top. Next up is the VIX, which is our fear indicator, and ever since we saw the VIX spike and we started closing above 24.8, I started to say watch that level, because if we start closing back below that level, it's just a short-term sell-off and we're likely to continue heading higher. Ever since then, the VIX has continued back down and we're starting to head back down towards our support level at 20. So a low VIX means low fear, which means we're likely to continue to go to new all-time highs. Now the VIX did close up 0.79% today, which is not exactly what you want to see when the market is heading higher. But it's also completely normal to see the VIX go up just a little bit when we're going to new all-time highs. That's strictly just some put buyers to hedge their long positions as the market heads to new all-time highs. So it's really not that big of a warning sign just yet, but we will continue to watch the VIX to see if it turns into something bigger. But right now on the VIX, we have bearish price action closing below all of the moving averages, and we still have the benefit of a bearish trend, which means the VIX is likely to continue to head lower. Next up is the US dollar, and we do see the dollar kind of flattening out down here, maybe possibly finding a support level and building a base to start heading higher from. However, we still have price action right around the 5 EMA, and we still have a very strong bearish trend. So right now we have to watch this resistance level on the dollar. If the dollar can start breaking back above 90.4, maybe we could start seeing a bounce on the dollar, which would be bearish for the stock market. But with a bearish trend and bearish price action, it's likely that the dollar is heading down to our next support level at $89. So a weak dollar is a strong stock market, and the dollar still looks very weak right now. Next up is gold, and it did look like gold was going to have a good day at one point. We were trading above 1887. However, we gave back all of those gains and we closed back down on support right on that 5 EMA. We've already tested 1860 as support, and we did get that confirmation bounce, and we still have a bullish trend. So I'm still bullish on gold, and I'm still looking for gold to come up here and test this resistance level at 1930. Next up is silver, and the same thing with gold. At one point we were trading above resistance, but we did close lower for the day. We're still getting a higher high and higher lows on the daily chart, so I'm still looking for silver to blast through resistance and start heading up to our next price target way up here at $29. Next up is Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has done a lot since my last update, and as you can tell, Bitcoin blasted right through my price target of 25,300, and it's hit my next price target at 28,200. My next price target, if we can break above 28,200, is all the way up here at $32,000. Now, if you look at this chart, you can see all of these green levels, which were old price targets. So you can see how much Bitcoin has just been on a run lately, and it just continues to blast through price target after price target. However, Bitcoin will eventually reach a point where it's going to hit a top and it's going to see a significant amount of selling. So if you're not already in Bitcoin, I really don't suggest chasing it, because you're going to get caught buying in at the top and it's not going to end well. I do still think that Bitcoin is a buy the dip stock, and it's likely going to be a great long-term hold for 2021. But I really can't suggest you buy in at these tops, because there's still a chance that we see a 20 to 30% pullback before Bitcoin goes any higher. Next up is Amazon stock, and we finally see Amazon taking advantage of that bullish trend that it was building up. And ever since we found support at the 50 EMA, we're bouncing in a huge way and we're blasting the brand new daily higher highs. So Amazon's looking really good. We now have daily higher highs and daily higher lows, and we're going to start blasting right through resistance at $3,300 next. So right now my price target is at this $3,323 level, and if we can break and close above there, we're likely heading much higher. Next up is Apple stock, and ever since Apple broke over 124, I raised my price target to 136, and as you can tell from today's price action, we've met that price target. For that reason, I'm getting a little more cautious on Apple, and I am expecting to see some selling and some pulling back in Apple stock soon. However, just in case Apple continues to go higher and you want to hold it, there is another price target on here of $141. I'm not saying we'll get to 141 because my price target was 136. I think it's more likely that Apple sees some selling and sees some cooling off before we head any higher from here. Next up is the financial sector, and we see bullish price action and bullish trending, which is great news for the S&P 500. On the industrials, we did close near the low of the day, but we're still trading right on top of that 5 EMA. The trend is going neutral, which is not necessarily bearish or bullish, but it just means we're consolidating, going sideways before the next move. On the healthcare sector, we're getting bullish price action, and we still have the benefit of bullish trending, so it's likely healthcare is going to continue to head higher. So jumping back to the S&P 500, we're still seeing bullish price action and trending across the sectors. We're still seeing a weak dollar and a low VIX, which means low fear. We're in the Santa Claus rally right now, so I'm not expecting any huge amount of volume, and we're likely going to just continue to melt up on low volume to end the year. So look for SPY to hit my price target at $377, and I would suggest taking some profits and raising some cash at those levels and get ready to buy the next dip. It's time for some hot stocks. Alright, first hot stock of the night is going to be Tesla stock. So we see Tesla still with bullish price action closing over that 5 EMA, and we still have this really strong bullish trend. So on Tesla, we've already broken above 690 one time, but that is still our resistance level that we need to keep an eye on. So if Tesla can break and close above 690, that's extremely bullish and means Tesla is likely heading higher. However, if we get rejected at 690 and we start heading back down and we start to see some bearish price action in this trend reverse, that could mean that Tesla's fifth wave is ending and we're going into a short-term bear market. So I do think with Tesla now in the S&P 500, it's a lot less likely we're going to see explosive price action. So you never know with this stock though, and if we start breaking and closing above 690, it's likely we could head up to our next price target, which is right around 745. So because Tesla still has bullish price action and a very strong bull trend, I'm going to give it benefit of the doubt to getting to that 745 level. So in a way, I'm upgrading Tesla, but it still needs to prove itself by breaking and closing above 690 for the second time. If we get rejected at that level and start heading lower, it could be the end for Tesla and we likely saw the top. Next up is NIO stock, and we see NIO stock after this nice impulsive move taking some time to cool off and go through a little bit of a correction. That's completely normal after an impulsive move to see a corrective move to the opposite direction. So we saw this nice impulsive move off the lows, and we're now finding some resistance, and now we're going through a little bit of a correction. So as long as NIO can stay in this consolidation pattern and it can stay above $42.40, we still have a bullish setup on NIO. So remember, NIO is a long-term play and our price targets are up here at $52, and if we can break and close above 52, we're likely heading to 61. So I'm still bullish on NIO, but it needs to remain above this support level at $42.40. We also have a resistance level on NIO, so we'll go ahead and turn that red, which we did break one time already, which is right around $48. So we do have daily higher highs and daily higher lows for the time being. So as long as NIO can maintain that bullish trend, we're likely going to continue to grind higher towards our price target at $52. Next up is Palantir stock, and if you remember me saying on Palantir, I said watch that $29 level. Palantir needs to break and close above $29 to be bullish. Palantir failed to do that, and it took another Palantir and it had a huge dump today, going down negative 7.6%. The bad thing about the price action on Palantir is that we're now closing below the 20 simple moving average. So it's never bullish for a stock when you're closing below the 20 simple moving average, and we're now seeing the trend reverse and it looks like it could be heading into a bearish trend. So the number one thing the Palantir bulls need to do is they need to find support at this previous support level right around $25, and it needs to start bouncing soon. However, with the price action and the trend, it's not looking great for Palantir, and it's likely we could start heading back down to our previous support level at $21. So I'm still favoring Palantir to retest $21 as support, and it's likely that 50 EMA is going to come up into that support level around the same time. So I still don't think it's time to buy this stock, and I would still be patient. This stock will be a hot stock eventually, but right now it's gone too far, too fast, and it's paying for it, and it's cooling off in a major way. Next up is NVIDIA stock, and I'm just going to say this really quickly. I'm going to do a quick update on the previous hot stocks, and then the hot stocks are likely going to rotate, and you're going to start seeing some new names around this town. So first up on NVIDIA, it's not looking great, and we did get a close below the support level. So NVIDIA is not doing its job by holding up above support, which means it's likely heading much lower. So if you're still holding NVIDIA or you're going long on this stock, you're probably fine. But if you were short-term trading this stock, it's probably time to cut bait and move on to the next hot stock. Next up is AMD stock, and we do see AMD closing below the 20 simple moving average as well as the 5 EMA and the 13 EMA. It still has the benefit of being at a support level right around $91, but if it starts breaking down soon, it's likely going to the 50 EMA, which is right around $88. My price target on AMD is still at $99, but it needs to form a higher low and it needs to hold up above $89.50. I think AMD can do that, and I think it should start heading back up soon, and it should get to this price target of $99 very soon. Next up is Boeing stock, and we still see Boeing in somewhat of a correction period after this monster bullish run up. I'm still bullish on Boeing as long as it can stay above $210. If Boeing starts breaking below 210, it's likely heading back to the 50 EMA around $204. I'm bullish on Boeing stock long term in 2021 and I still have a price target on Boeing up here at $260. However, with Boeing's price action continuing to bleed out, it's not likely going to remain a hot stock until it starts moving in a bigger way. Next up is Splunk stock, and we see Splunk finally cooling off after it found resistance at the 50 EMA. It's likely still going to find support somewhere around the 13 EMA or that 20 simple moving average, so it's likely to find support somewhere around $171.75. I still have a price target on Splunk of $201, and it's likely still going in that direction. It's just cooling off after this monster move. Remember, on Splunk, I told you to buy somewhere down here around $154, and now it's sitting up here still higher at $175. So like I said, there's more hot stocks coming, and if you want to get more hot stocks on the ground level and find out about them first, consider joining the Stocks Channel Discord. You can find out how to join the Discord server by looking at the link in the description of this video. We're a disciplined, profitable trading community, and if you're looking for a great trading community, you might want to check us out. So I hope you all had a very restful and relaxing holiday. It's great to be back, and I'm looking forward to 2021. I will have a special announcement coming up this week, so tune in for that as well. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you're crushing it in this market, and as always, I will see you in the next episode.